Hi, welcome to the set of The Big Bang Theory. Here we find ourselves in Pasadena, California, adjacent to Caltech University, where our two geniuses have made their home for the last 12 years. This is definitely a multi-camera sitcom environment, which was created by Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball way back in the day of I Love Lucy. Usually when you do a set, you have 4 walls, and you get to put all the things on all those walls like you would find in any room, in any place that you would go to. But here, we only have 3 walls because there is no wall there, there's an audience. So this is very theatrically inspired. It's much like a play. Sometimes, like on 2.5 Men, they'd shoot the reverse and we go like, oh God, what are we going to put on that wall? So I put in a door that would have been to a closet and 2 more windows, you know. But by then you've used up all the good stuff. We already have the kitchen and the hallway and the door and the windows. So it's like the 4th wall, well, some windows, let's not look at it too close. We have to be careful that everything is a composition no matter which way the camera is focused. You don't have time to come in as you do on a single camera and move the vase over 3 inches for the headshot. The usual time frame that I have to design an episode of a sitcom begins with perhaps a week or 2 where I have a chance to read the script, analyze the geography, analyze the emotional content, and figure out how we're going to create this on the stage. I'm just the beginning of a long chain of people who have to bring everything together. I can imagine what these walls are going to look like, and I can imagine how they should be decorated, but then I begin work with my set designer, draftsperson, my assistant art director, and very importantly with the set decorator, who then is responsible for picking out every magazine that you see on the set, every throw pillow. So the process is really about collaboration and communication. I basically started making scenery and imagining sets when I was in 4th and 5th grade. First with puppet shows and little models, and later on all through high school I acted, I did costumes, I did lighting, I built sets, I did it all. I went on to college assuming that would go behind me and that I would move forward and go into a serious business, because if you go into the theater, you'll starve to death, as your parents tell you, and you'll never work, and it's a hopeless situation. Came home at Christmas and said, I'm changing my major, I'm going into theater. I've done 135 pilots in the last 26 years and 54 series. I've had a number of series that have lasted, like Drew Carey, 9 years, 6 years with Mike and Molly, 5 years with Dharma and Greg, 12 years, almost 12. We had that funny time on 2.5 Men.
Was Amy suspicious when they had to let your dress out?
No, she was so happy she didn't even question it.
Someone's gonna figure it out. Why don't we just tell people?
No, it's too early. I haven't even wrapped my head around it.
My head is wrapped.
Yeah, well, if something else had been wrapped, we wouldn't be in this situation.
The very first thing I did was drive up and down the streets of Pasadena looking at buildings. And I put a sort of collage together of ideas. And then I sat down with my pencil and I sketched up all the walls, and we built this little model that represents what I had proposed as the original design concept for the space. With our center hallway here, we didn't know we could cut a hole in the floor at the time, so we had a hallway coming down here, and then we had our space between the 2 apartments. When I presented this to Chuck, Lori, and Bill Prady at the very beginning, they became very anxious with me. They said, why did you put an elevator in there? There's stairs. I want them climbing up and down the stairs for that conversation that takes place between people when you're going someplace. And I said, well, I'll put the elevator in because it's more interesting than a wall with just another picture and a sconce. But let's just pretend the elevator's broken. Maybe it's just always going to be broken. In the original design, I had suggested perhaps they had a little stairway that went up to the roof. They had a little bigger window. We had a little bigger kitchen. We had a little longer hallway. We had a little outdoor fire escape. Little places to play. And this is usually where it starts. And so we had the conversation about, well, maybe it's too big. Maybe she should have a bedroom. The tradition of the entertainment business has always been rather casual about what it has saved from its greatest hits. Some of the studios over the years have parked things back in their prop house. I remember when I first started decorating in 1980, I would be at Paramount and I could rent the 2 pictures that hung over Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz's bed in I Love Lucy. Those things have all vanished. But we're looking into a new world now where Warner Brothers and other studios are now understanding that these things that people live with in their homes when they watch a show like this every day become touchstones to all kinds of things and memories, and it's important that we keep these. It's really unique to work on a series that lasts 12 years, and it's going to become, when we're finished, we've already crossed the line, the longest running multi-camera comedy in the history of television. And when you think about 12 years, you sometimes reflect in the past of what other 12 years meant to you. Well, 12 years is from first grade to senior in high school. 12 years is from senior in high school through college till you're settled in your life. So 12 years is, there's a lot can happen. We are all day players in this business, those of us in production. Our jobs can disappear immediately when they pull the plug on a show or cancel a show. But to have the kind of sense of security that a show that runs 12 years gives to all of the company is a pretty amazing experience.
Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state. Then nearly 14 billion years ago, expansion started. Wait. The earth began to cool. The autotrophs began to drool. Neanderthals developed tools. We built a wall. We built the pyramids. Math, science, history, unraveling the mystery that all started with a big